And welcome to Upstart's Brownlow Preview. I'm Joshua Jeans and I'm joined here by Damien Ractliffe. Damien, I've lost my voice. How you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. So we'll start with the Brownlow. We'll start with the favourite, Gary Ablett. Won the MVP, voted by the players, of course, and that's the record fourth time. So he's on fire this season.
Yep.
How do you see him going here?
All the super footy and champion data statistics are saying that he's gonna win the Brownlow, and he's going to be my tip for the Brownlow. Just think his start of the year, even though they lost games, he was very impressive. 40 possession games, had 50-odd possessions against the Pies. He's got no teammates that are really going to compete with him. I think Harley Bennell's probably going to be their second highest vote getter, but he won't get close to Ablett. So Ablett's going to be my tip. He averaged 33 touches a game, nearly on 34, 110 tackles a game for the season, and I reckon that's massive.
That is huge.
Yeah, just the tackles, the pressure he lays, just always gets in the umpires' eyesight, and his peers have voted him the best for the year.
But obviously the concern is they haven't won many games, the Gold Coast. So is he going to poll well in games that they've lost?
Well, if you go through the other favourites, Watson, Cotchin, those boys didn't make finals either, so they're going to be under the same sort of scrutiny on winning enough games. I think Ablett's a match winner, even though the games that they didn't win, the games they didn't win, he was impressive enough to be Gold Coast best.
Yeah, I think he's a definite chance. And when I think the MVP normally goes close to winning the Brownlow anyway, he got pretty close last year as well.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do pretty well. Let's go to Cotchin as well now. He's had a fantastic season. He's probably announced himself as one of the best players in the comp.
Absolutely brilliant, Cotchin. I love watching him. He's, in my opinion, the best player under 23 years old. I did my All-Australian under 23 team for Upstart this week.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, and he was in there. He's a gun. He's an absolute superstar. He probably has Delidio to take a few votes off him. Jack Riewoldt, obviously winning the Coleman's going to get a few.
I don't think Dustin Martin would have stolen too many this year. He didn't. He had a pretty up and down season, unfortunately, Dustin. And I'm really excited about him in the future. But yeah, I think Trent Cotchin should do quite well.
Yeah, I think the last half of his year will also be very impressive. Richmond won a few games, even though they couldn't make finals towards the end of the year, and he was very impressive in the last 5 or 6 games.
So Trent Cotchin, I think he could get up to the top 3.
Okay.
And I think he could definitely challenge for the Brownlow. It just depends. See how the vote, because he's always around the ball, and I think the umpires like him as well. How many free kicks did he have this year? He's had 51 free kicks, so he's in and around the ball as well.
Yeah, 51 free kicks and only 16 against.
So that's good.
I think it's the biggest differential of all the players in the comp this year.
Yeah. So let's go now to your boy Dane Beams. Luke Ball went out obviously early on in the season, and he announced himself, really, didn't he?
Yeah, it took him a while to get into it. I think for the Pies, Pendlebury was really strong early in the year. Pendlebury broke his leg. Swan stood up. Swan got suspended. Beams stood up. Beams' last half of the year was really impressive. I think those 3 boys are going to take a bit of votes off each other. I think if you go through the Pies boys, Pendlebury's going to poll well early in the year. I think Swan will get the most votes for Collingwood. He's guaranteed 3 on Anzac Day. Had a really good patch through the middle of the year. That part where he got suspended and even coming back, he wasn't so impressive. But I think Swan even finished the year off well enough to poll the most votes for the Pies.
So you think, though, going on that, then that Beams will poll well towards the end of the season? I think games against Sydney where he clutched the game. I think he'll definitely do well towards that part then.
Yeah, like I said, I think Swan's going to poll a bit more than Beams. I think Beams will still be impressive. At the moment, he's 21-1. And Swan's at 14. So I think Swan's better value, especially top 3. I think Swan averaging 35 touches a game this year. Swan. Beams averaging 31 touches. And
I think Damo wrote a piece on Swan winning the Brownlow as well, so you can probably read that one as well.
Yeah, that was just before he got suspended, and everything went a bit downhill there. But I still think Swan will finish top 3.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Definite?
Yes, I won't put Beams in the top 3, but I'll put Ablett as my top, and Swan will get a place.
Okay, and now let's go to Adelaide then, seeing as they're playing against each other.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're not. Sorry, they're playing at Hawthorn.
Yep.
Patriek.Dangerfield, I think he'll get more than Scott Thompson this year.
Yeah, they're the two, Dangerfield and Thompson. The big stat for me is Scott Thompson leads the competition in free kicks against. I don't know if that's the best stat to be leading when you want to get Brownlow votes. He's had 36 free kicks for and 57 against. So that's a differential of minus 21 free kicks. Whereas Dangerfield, 41 for and 24 against. Yeah, I think that's going to work in Dangerfield's favour come Monday night.
And as you remember early on in the season, everyone couldn't stop writing about Patriek.Dangerfield. He really announced himself this year and showed, well, he played in the midfield more, didn't he? So, I mean, last year he played up forward with Neil Craig, moved into the midfield this year, showed his pace, showed why he's a game winner.
Yeah, definitely. I think even his goal kicking, he got named on the half-forward flank for the All-Australian team, kicked 23 goals for the year. Just when he gets the ball, he just has that zip. He has the pace to just burn off opponents, and really, he really just lights up the crowd. The crowd lifts when he gets the footy. He's just really exciting to watch. I think he'll be up there. He'll get more votes than Thompson, I think.
That's for sure. Now, up until halfway, Jobe Watson was probably the leader for the Brownlow, would you not say?
Yeah, and I'm a bit disappointed because looking at the All-Australian team, I would have thought that he would have been the captain. 3 captains in the All-Australian team.
Darren Glass, definitely.
Darren Glass got named, Ablett got vice-captain, and Watson was the only captain that didn't get a leadership spot in the All-Australian team. He was brilliant. He lifted his team in that first half of the year. Unfortunately, Essendon dropped off in the second half of the year and didn't end up making finals. But he'll get serious votes in the Essendon games.
Well, he was the AFL players' captain, so we'll give him that. He's obviously been great. Obviously, towards the end of the season, he faded along with Essendon, obviously because he was the only one really doing anything towards the end of the season, and you felt sorry for Jobe. Yeah,
I don't think there's many Brownlows that we see where it's won by the halfway stage of the Brownlow count, which is going to work against Watson here. I don't think he polls enough votes towards the end of the year to get him across the line.
Now, what about Sam Mitchell from the Hawks?
Everyone underrates him every year on Brownlow night, and he just seems to bob up. Last year he got suspended, so he was ineligible. Still think he finished second behind Swan. I think it might have been 3 or 4 votes in the end, but Sam Mitchell, definite smoky at the moment. He's 14-1. I think he will finish third. He'll be that'll be my top 3: Ablett from Swan and Sam Mitchell.
It's phenomenal how people still underrate Sam Mitchell, isn't it? I mean, I guess he's not that flashy sort of midfielder that your Chris Judd or your Gary Ablett is. Yeah. You wouldn't say he's going to kick goal to win the game for you, but he'll definitely do a pressure act to win the game for you.
Yeah, it's the contested possessions, the in and out. He gets the handball. He gives the handball. He's
the tackles.
The tackles.
We've
got the stats here.
Yeah, 122 tackles.
Yeah, very impressive. I think come Brownlow night he will show up. He'll show up on the vote card, and top 3 finish for mine.
And another new boy, Josh Candy. Well, not new, but new to this sort of Brownlow talk. Anyway, he's been pretty superb this year. I think he was great in the finals last year and the year before, but this year's just been superb, consistent all year round. Josh Candy, I don't know how well he'll poll. I think Drew Bolton will steal a few votes. Lewis Jetta will definitely steal a few. But could he be a surprise?
I wouldn't have thought so. Just the Sydney game plan doesn't really seem to tend towards players really standing out. I know Goods has won a few Brownlows, but Goods is a totally different player to Kennedy. Goods is, that all-round specialist, key forward, massive midfielder that just crunches packs. I think Kennedy with Jetta, like you said, Jetta and Jude Bolton. Jude Bolton will poll well, start of the year. Kennedy will be consistent. He'll probably get the 1s and 2s. I don't know if Kennedy will get enough 3s to win.
Along with Kieran Jack as well, and Dan Hannanbury will also steal a few votes, you'd assume.
Yep, definitely.
O'Keefe will pop up with a few. Their midfield's been superb. It's been well spread out this year as well. The whole team, I guess. It's not a team of superstars. It's a team of contributors, and that's why...
That's why they finished top 4, and that's why they played in finals.
That's right. Now, I'm just going to go a smoky because I couldn't help myself, Damien. Dean Cox for me, I think, because West Coast didn't really have a standout performer this year in terms of midfielders. I don't think Pritis was as good as he's been in previous years. There was no Lacra to steal votes as well. Gaff will pick up a few, so will Luke Shuey. But I think Dean Cox has won a few games off his own bat this year.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will be very even when it comes to their team's votes. I'm not sure if Cox will get enough as a ruckman. It's been a long time since the ruckman's won. Last ruckman, top of mind, Scott Wind, Jimmy Steins.
That was a while ago. No.
So those guys. I think it'll be very hard for Cox to poll votes. I think Scott Selwood might be the one that gets West Coast most votes. It'll be out of Selwood and Cox, I think.
Yeah. So no one for Geelong this year?
Joel Selwood will be up there, but I don't think... I think even the Cats have had... From the games that they've won, they've had pretty even performance. Selwood will probably finish top 10. I think it's pretty safe to say he'll finish top 10. Whether he'll get into the top 5, I'm not too sure.
Maybe in the future he might do a bit better.
Yeah, I think so. I think Geelong aren't going to bottom out. So there's something about the Cats that makes me suggest that they're not going to be bottoming out too quick.
All right, Damo, so let's do it. Who's your 1, 2 and 3?
So I'm going Ablett from Swan and Sam Mitchell.
I'm going to go a bit different there. I think I'm going to go Patriek.Dangerfield. I don't think there's too many people still votes from him this year. Ablett, and I'll go Beams.
Beautiful.
All right, guys, thanks for that, and we'll see you next time.